Mitikuye oyasin. All our brothers and sisters, all humans, all beings, all that have consciousness, every animal, every tree, every blooming flower, you are all part of one life. E pluribus unum, out of one comes the many that are one. Or directly translated, out of many comes one. The idea that many bound together are stronger than one by themselves, but that all share equally as one. That is to say that all people are interconnected, and that all life, human and otherwise, is interconnected. So it is important that you realize at this time that your environment is part of that life to which you are connected. Your global atmosphere is part of your humanity, and it interacts with your humanity. Some people speak of global warming as an existential crisis. But the warming is more than a crisis for humanity. It is a crisis for life throughout cosmos. You say, how can this be? And we say, all things are interconnected. All life is one. Understand that the planets themselves have consciousness. When you destroy the consciousness of one, you injure the consciousnesses of all. So it is then that this is not just an existential threat for humanity, but for life upon planet Earth as you know it, for the planet itself, and for the life that threads throughout all of the universe. As there are fluctuations in the magnetic fields of the Earth, you must understand that those magnetic fields are all that protects you from death in the physical sense. And fluctuations in those fields, erosions of those fields, can allow the radiation that flows through space to destroy physiological life on Earth. For this cause, you need to realize that the way in which you are living has changed. As humanity has evolved, you have now come into an age where electrostatic fields and magnetics are used extensively. And damage being done to the Earth by the misuse of carbon fuels injures the ozone layer and causes other problems. But as you run more and more electrical fields around the Earth, and as you use more and more magnetic fields and radio waves for transmission of data, you have other impacts upon your environment and upon the electromagnetic field and the very static, so to speak, that protects the Earth. So, how do you deal with things in the coming future? What will you develop? How do you utilize magnetic and electrical forces, first to stop the carbon pollution? How do you utilize the radiation coming directly from the sun? How do you utilize the power of the winds and the movement of the oceans? You have gone beyond being simply a native people that would watch a few birds or insects and time things accordingly. You must now learn to use nature to your advantage in a way that is non-harmful to yourselves, to the life upon the planet, and to the planet itself. That means finding ways to harness the wind in bladeless turbines of sorts rather than old-fashioned windmills that create more waves. That means learning to harness magnetic fields by putting magnetic strips in the little roads that you would ride upon, so cars may be ever continuously charging and never need to be fueled. That means learning to use magnetic fields for aerial transport. That means that you need to learn to use electrostatic fields as a means for mining and excavation. That means you need to learn to use solar energy in the very design of your buildings, in the way that they are laid out, so that the columns and the roofs and sometimes the windows, but most especially the building materials themselves generate electric that you can utilize and magnetic fields that you can utilize. And it means that you must research to understand the magnetic field about the Earth. And as has been done thousands of years before, you will then need to actually posit polarities within the ground by making areas that will generate magnetic forces to hold the balance of the Earth. And then you will be able to build structures that will be transmission points for energy and power. So wires and such become unnecessary. However, just as was found in ancient times when this was done, it will be necessary to learn to generate such at a frequency that is compatible with physical life to keep from creating cancerous growths. It is incumbent upon humanity to actually learn to live with the earth, and for future generations to use what the earth gives for benefit. Even the ancient people who were without your advantages could watch the tide for fishing and other benefits. Surely you can use the tides and the rising and falling waters to generate electrical power. You're coming into a new era, an age of electricity, and you must be able to harness this. And you must be able to use it for the benefit of mankind in a knowing and smart way. Metek oye oyasin. All are brothers and sisters, all are one. All life is one. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. You must strive in a unified way, for you are one world. You cannot, as this pandemic has shown you cannot work in separate ways and achieve in unison. For if you do not work together, what some do, others will undo, and all will fail. You all survive together, you all succeed together, or you all fail together, and you all die together. Life is that simple. We leave you with blessings and with peace. Peace be with each of you.